Commissioner May's on the phone already.
He is on the phone.
Thank you.
Is he ready? Okay, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, everyone. Commissioner Mays is going to join us by phone today. On my right is Commissioner Kevin Cook, and I am Commissioner Bill Rippon. I represent District 1, and this will be a little different with him on the phone today. What's our first item?
Item number 3, consent agenda.
I would move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All right. Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk, number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Okay, I will do. We have 2 vouchers today. I'll start with the May 13th, 2022 voucher. Under Building and Maintenance, Merricrete LLC totaling $14,541 is for replace patio concrete at Lake Shawnee Yacht Club. Under Local Health Center, Samco Inc., $21,715 is for the South VRF HVAC condenser repairs at JP Lewis Building. Under Sewer Districts, SSB Engineering LLC, $16,470 is for engineering services for sanitary sewer improvement project. Total vouchers as of May 13, 2022 is $1,621,598.29. Then the May 18th vouchers, under Building Maintenance, Pro Paint, $50,265 is for the Howie Greenhouse renovations. Under General Expenses, RSM US LLP, totaling $78,750 is for the 2021 audit service. Under Parkland Acquisition 3 and Business Office Park, Game Time totaling $14,920.34 is for a shade structure at Hills Bark Park. The May 18th total vouchers is $797,868.76. If there's no questions or comments, I would move that we approve the vouchers.
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays, slowly, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Number 2, consider correction orders.
I would move that we approve the correction orders.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
B, Public Works, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C 155-2022, Amendment 1 with Bartlett and West, Inc., adding construction engineering services to the original design contract C 193-2020 for the collection system and pump station replacement rehab project within the Sherwood Sewer Sanitary System. All fees to be paid by the $7 million KDHE loan and repaid by user fees.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. We have 2 projects coming up at the Sherwood treatment system. One is the collection system. That work is going to start the Monday after the July 4th holiday. And then we have a larger pump station project coming up that we will let this year. Right now it's being reviewed by KDHE. But obviously construction, we want to trust but verify our contractor. And in order to do that, we have to have inspection services. So what we'd like to do is amend the original design contract with Bartlett and West to include inspection services. It will add approximately $580,000 to their contract for a total of just approximately $994,000. The total cost of the projects themselves, the construction projects, will be approximately $5 million. So we're talking at something less than 20% for the inspection, which is not unreasonable for these types of projects. I look forward to your questions.
Do we have inspection the full time that contractors are on the job on the project like that?
Absolutely, and that's why we have this contract amendment is hourly with upper limit, because we want the inspector to be there when they need to be there, and they don't need to be there when really there's no work going on or no inspectable work. So, yes, to answer your question, they'll be there when the important work is taking place.
I have no questions. I'll move for approval.
Second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
B2, consider authorization and execution of contract C-157-2022, a sole source agreement with Terracon Consultants, Inc. for ongoing monitoring, sampling, and inspection of the closed Shawnee County landfill. The $17,900 annual expense will be funded by the user fee-funded Solid Waste Department.
Courtney House, Director of Public Works. We presently have a contract with Terracon for these types of services. That contract is expired, so this is merely a new contract that performs the same services. These services are required by KDHE as part of the closed landfill. The work is not changing. In fact, the yearly cost has gone down by $500. With that, I take your questions.
What is Terracon inspecting? Are they doing borings out there? Are they looking at runoff or?
What they do is we have a number of sites. They're sampling sites. We sample groundwater, we sample for methane. That's really all they're doing, and that's all that the KDHE is requiring. And then once they do this sampling, they do a report, and this report is submitted to KDHE.
Other questions?
I do not have any questions. This is just a continuation of what we're already doing.
Absolutely.
Okay. I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
B3, acknowledge change order number 1, final to contract number C-54-2022 with Bettis Asphalt, reflecting as bid versus as construction quantities on pavement repair project Southeast Croco Road to K4 ramps. This change order results in a project decrease of $7,275.
Courtney House, Director of Public Works. I don't know if you've been out there on E6 between Croco and the Oakland Expressway, but this project turned out great. Bettis did a great job milling, placing an overlay, and then both the county surveyor and Public Works maintenance forces did the striping. It just turned out fantastic. We hope it lasts for a while. The project is fully completed, and it turns out that the as bid versus as constructed quantities were slightly different, and the $7,275 reduction recognizes that. Any questions?
Always good to get a reduction. I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
B4, consider authorization and execution of license contract C-158-2022, C-159-2022, and C-160-2022 with the BNSF Railway for use of railway right-of-way and approval of related payments totaling $12,618. These agreements, along with providing the railway with the required certificates of insurance, will allow the Shawnee County Traffic Signal Upgrade Project along South Topeka Boulevard to move towards the KDOT bid letting.
Courtney House, Director of Public Works. We've been working on this project for a long time. The design has been complete. We've been working with the railroad for an extended period of time to get these permits completed and to the point where you can approve them. Essentially, these permits allow Shawnee County to place conduit, footings, signal poles on railroad right-of-way. We're not doing anything new. There's already poles on railroad right-of-way. There's already conduit, related conduit on railroad right-of-way. This is just to allow us to continue to do so. And there's a cost associated with that. It's $4,206 per location. There's 3 locations on South Topeka Boulevard where we're upgrading the signals. Part of this cost will be we're going to participate in the railroad's protective insurance policy. Part of it through the certificate of insurance, which we're still working on, will be provided through Shawnee County. So with that, I look forward to any questions that you have.
Any questions?
So, Kurt, we've got some, what I understand, delay times with getting these products delivered. Is that your understanding as well?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Delay time on product delivery.
Well, we've had, when we first started this project, we were supposed to let this project in September of 2020. And I think our latest scheduled letting is September of 2022. So that kind of explains some of the difficulty we've had in working with the railroad, working through the permit process. Aaron, is that what you're asking about?
Actually, I'm talking about kind of the supply chain issues with getting the actual lights, the equipment that we need to put this in.
Absolutely, because of the existing world economic conditions, the delivery time for these poles could be 6 months. But that's just the way it is right now.
Thanks. I'll move for approval if
Second.
it's not already been done.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner May, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt. Next item.
Item C, Parks Recreation, number 1. Consider approval of request to award the bid for improvements at Fools Landing, Parks and Billis Asphalt, followed by execution of agreement C-161-2022 for same. Funding in an amount of $123,560.08 is available from the Building Maintenance Fund and assistance from Kansas Wildlife and Park Communities Fisheries Assistance Program Grant, previously awarded in the amount of $40,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Hammer, Parks and Recreation. We brought this project and that $40,000 grant to you in August of last year. This agreement would allow us to finish up that improvement project. It would mainly be excavation work on both sides of the ramp, adding riprap to those areas, and then asphalt overlay of the parking lot and driveway, and that should pretty well complete things there. I could stand for any questions.
Mr. Chairman? Yes. So, Tom, the bid is $123,560. You previously had a grant of $40,000, so that takes us down to $83,000. So the remainder of the $83,000 is being funded through?
The Building Maintenance Fund.
Okay. And then you have this within your 2022 budget for Building Maintenance Fund?
We do.
Okay. And then this work, have we already installed the gate barrier at Fools Landing?
It is complete. We finished that right before the time change. We had to reset our clock on there after that, opening and closing times, but it seems to be working. We've had a few glitches, but the contractor's been working with us, and everybody seems to be fairly happy with it. So,
Okay. Has that reduced some of the illegal dumping?
I think it has. Actually, before it was put in, just the amount of time we'd been spending there cleaning things up and just the attention paid to that park had done a lot, I think. But yeah, we've had no trouble there since then, and I hope we keep it that way. So anglers that I've spoken with have been concerned about night fishing out there, you know, but they've also been happy with the reduced, you know, other things happening there. So I think we're good.
Okay. That's all the questions I have.
Tom, do we have one of our new signs out there?
We do. We got it installed just last week, so drive by and
Okay.
check it out. It looks pretty nice.
I like to see when we have new projects that we have the
Yeah,
new sign
I wanted to
with
get
it.
it, yep.
It makes it look.
Yeah,
just
it
looks
was
better.
important to us as well to get that put up quick. I don't think that park's had a sign for a number of years, so.
Okay. All right, I will move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Tom. Next item.
Item D, Stormontville Event Center. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-165-2022 with Meriden Roofing Solutions for the installation of new roofs on Landon Arena Exhibition Hall and Agricultural Hall for a total cost of $913,000 and $913,417 utilizing the general fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. Matt Rockers, Director of Operations, Stormontville Event Center. Today we are asking for the approval of the contract that the Counselor's Office and Meridian Roofing worked on. Meridian was the low bidder on this project, and this will replace all of our existing roofing that was not taken care of during the renovation process.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
We don't have the media here, but for the tens of people that are watching at home, can you tell me why, when we did a $48 million project, this $1 million was not included?
So when we started the renovation project, that would have been around 2010, 2011 as far as the planning of it. Of course, the roof at that point was still well within its age limits and not needed to be replaced at that time. I don't believe they thought that the project, when they planned it, would start in 2019, 2020. So that's why it wasn't included in the original documents.
Okay. So this is just part of a annual deferred maintenance and replacement of addressing those issues?
Correct.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Next item.
Item E, Health Department. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-162-2022 regarding local health department mosquito surveillance with funding from the KDHE Bureau of Epidemiology and Public Health Informatics to support mosquito surveillance in Shawnee County from June 27, 22 through October 22nd, 22 for a total of $2,000.
Morning, Commissioners. Craig Barnes, Health Department. What you see before you today is our annual mosquito surveillance contract that we get with KDHE. It's a partnership as well with the Kansas Biological Survey. Dr. Christopher Rogers is the entomologist there that does our mosquito identification and identifies any mosquito-borne diseases that is found in any of the 5 traps that we put out here in the county. That's a partnership that has been over the last 5 years. It helps us with early identification of any mosquito-borne diseases and put out notification and messaging out to the community if we are able to identify anything like Zika, West Nile virus, chikungunya in our community. It gives us an opportunity, as well as you all are familiar with our Dump Day campaign, which is every Fridays, to promote individuals to get out into the community or in their areas to dump standing water. We continue to make available through this opportunity the mosquito dunks, which is we put these into single-serve kind of Ziploc bags with information about the dunks that they can use to put in areas of low-lying areas that collect water around their houses and things of that sort that will actually kill off and keep mosquitoes from breeding in those areas. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have today.
Commissioner Cook, can you identify different types of mosquitoes?
No, I cannot, but I know that we do. And I know that we gather them up, and I know most of the mosquitoes in your are in your district, and so.
Ooh,
Touche.
we offer a variety of mosquitoes.
Following that river in the low-lying areas.
Indeed, indeed.
Okay, well,
I mean, Silver Lake and Rossville, and
Yes,
and
yeah.
those are, I mean, one of our main areas is following those low-lying areas, that good farmland. And
Oh, yeah.
do we put mosquito traps in town as well?
We do have a couple of mosquito traps throughout town. We have 5 locations throughout the county. We try to keep those on a need-to-know basis, if you will, so that we don't have general public going out and messing with those traps where we place them. But we have agreements with landowners throughout the county to place those traps and have access to that land to do that trapping.
And we have mosquito traps in Commissioner Cook's district?
We do indeed.
Okay.
We do.
We'll send you the numbers so you guys can compete on that aspect.
Me and Commissioner Cook can identify mosquitoes.
Follow the Shunga.
I would move for approval if there's no other questions.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next item.
E2, consider authorization and execution of contract C 163-2022 with Kansas State University Master of Public Health Program to provide an applied practical experience for a student.
Morning, Commissioners. Derek Furlong, Infectious Disease Manager for the Health Department. Here to ask for your approval for this agreement with a Master MPH student, I should say, with K-State. This student has a focus in infectious disease epidemiology, and the student's also from Topeka. Month ago or so now, they had expressed interest in completing their applied learning experience with us, which is a requirement for graduation. We talked about a potential project for this student, which includes like an infection prevention resource that could be utilized for like long-term care facilities, healthcare facilities, but I think as well maybe as the general public. And it's not COVID specific or anything like that. We have gotten interest from other entities too. KDHE is working on something a little bit different, but a little bit similar as well. So there's potential for partnership there. They've expressed that. KDADS is on board with this and has sent kind of the initial idea out to their stakeholders. And then we've also secured the interest of some facilities in Shawnee County as well, long-term care facilities that would like to take part in this project with the student. So not only, would this add to the, a resource for facilities in the county, across the state, potentially across the nation, but it's also a good opportunity for a student to be involved with the health department, be exposed to public health and what it means to do the work that we do. With that, I'll answer any questions you might have.
Any questions?
In the scope of work, it says Shawnee County Health Department will utilize the current relationships to secure interest from a minimum of 3 to 5 facilities across the broad spectrum of congregate settings and it goes from there. So what are some of the things that you would anticipate the student doing?
Yeah, so, first it'll be obviously meeting the facilities, the interested parties that are wanting to take part in this, but we're really anticipating some face-to-face or virtual meetings, over like the Zoom platform to discuss what they've been up against. Obviously COVID is what made, maybe some of the resources that they didn't have, it kind of, showed that gap that was there. It's not just us that has identified that. So the student will work with the facilities, kind of in tandem to see what they need, what they feel like they need, because they do have requirements and surveys that they have to complete on the more CMS or even KDAD side of things. So, if we can build something of a resource for them to refer to when they're completing these surveys, that's what we look for this student to do, and I know that she's excited to do it.
And then under your anticipated products, it looks like you're going to be doing a lot of public outreach and working with the public and designing flyers and brochures and media items.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're looking more towards, I think, materials that are specific to the facilities themselves and educational materials for themselves. But I would also imagine things that could be posted online. I'm sure you all have seen like the CDC, KDHE PDF flyers, that can be hung up on the wall that says wash your hands and things like that. And so I'd imagine some resources and things like that. I should also mention the student has said that there is some flexibility within these activities. And so one of the things that she was interested in doing is giving a presentation at the Kansas Public, oh goodness, help me out here, Craig. Kansas Public Health Association. I got too many acronyms in my head. The annual meeting in the fall. So I think this is a good opportunity too for Shawnee County to kind of be on the cutting edge, if you will, because there really is no infection prevention resource, go-to manual, binder, whatever you want to call it, for long-term care specific facilities. And so, this is a good look for the county as well, I believe.
That's all the questions I have.
Okay. Mr. Mays, you have any questions?
No questions for me. It sounds like a good deal, though, so I would move for approval.
I will second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Item F, Emergency Management. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-164-2022 with Motorola Solutions, Inc. to maintain and sustain communication capabilities at a cost of $31,000 and an approved emergency management communication sustainment project for capital outlay 2021.
Morning, Commissioners. Nelson Castile, Emergency Management. This is part of our capital outlay for 2021, where we have continued over the years to go through and refresh radios, put some new radios into service, and also the radios that we are replacing with these, they end up going into a cache that we can use in times of emergency or incidents or events or anything like that. With some of our COVID-related duties slowing down, we've been able now to get caught up on a couple of these projects. I'd answer any questions you might have.
No.
Questions?
Just sounds like this is part of the annual refresh of our equipment.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. I'll move for approval.
I'll second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next item.
Item G, Human Resources. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-166-2022, master contract with the Teamsters Local Union Number 696 for calendar years 2022, 2023, and 2024, and contracts C-167-2022 through C-171-2022, addendums to the master agreement for clerical employees, correction employees, health department employees, health professionals and support, park employees, and public work employees.
Good morning, Commissioners. Angela Lewis with Human Resources. This morning I have Mike Scribner with me from Teamsters to present the contract. We'd like to thank Mike Augustine and Bridget Peschel and all the directors and elected officials and union members who came out to help us complete the contract. On the screen, you'll see 19 different changes that were made to the contract. I'll highlight a couple of those for you. We were able to negotiate wages for 2022 for the Evergreen project. We do have openers for 2023 and 2024 for wages. We also recognize Juneteenth as an additional holiday in the contract. And another highlight from the 3-year contract is that the health professionals addendum now reimburses RNs, dietitians, and master social workers for licensing fees. I'd like to give Mike Scribner an opportunity to speak, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about the contract.
Morning, Commissioners. Mike Scribner, Teamsters Local 696. I would ask that you approve the contracts that are in front of you. I started in the county in 1995. Feels like 1965 most of the time. We're moving in the right direction, and I appreciate you all leading that direction. Our members appreciate it. They do a fantastic job. Supervisors do a fantastic job. Department heads. And I'm ready to sit down and talk about 23 and 24. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike, looking forward to 23 and 24, I mean, right now, finding candidates, period, is increasingly difficult. What parts are the Teamsters doing to try to help recruit for some of these areas? I mean, at Department of Corrections, we're offering hiring bonuses, we're same for some of our public works positions, and so obviously we hope that the Teamsters are working with us to try to recruit quality candidates. And so can you tell us what some of the things the Teamsters are doing?
Well, I think now more than ever, staff are recommending friends, family, associates, come to Shawnee County. It's a good place to work. And I think it's working. It's a slow process, but the vacancy levels we had, excuse me, at the Department of Corrections, at probably the most crucial time that we've ever done that job. People stepped up and did it, day in, day out, multiple hours of overtime. You all know the numbers. We're doing everything we can. Anybody that comes over to my office looking for a job, that's the first place I send it. So,
Okay.
we appreciate it.
Everything we can do to recruit and fill those positions, I mean, it's an all hands on deck type of situation, so thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments?
Angela, is there anything
Not
additional?
really,
Oh,
not
good.
really a question, but just a comment. I know these negotiations are never easy, and so I appreciate everybody's hard work on it, and eager to get it in place.
Angela, is there anything else that we need to be cognizant of this morning?
No, I think you have all the information for this contract. We'd ask that you'd approve it.
Okay. I'll move for approval.
I'll second. And motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Mike, Angela, thanks for all your work hammering this out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item.
Item 5, public comment.
Do we have anyone from the public who'd like to speak? Amanda saying no. Next item.
Item 6, administrative communication.
Morning, Commissioners. Nelson Castile, Emergency Management. This is one of those weird calendar years that we have. Memorial Day is the 30th. Yeah, it's the 30th. So we've got a lot of schools that are either letting out this week or have already let out. A lot of folks going to be traveling, a lot of activities going on. We would just ask that you be watching out for all those folks, the increase of traffic. There is a slight chance for some strong storms on Friday. Just keep in mind how far lightning can travel and hail and all those other things that are not good when you're outside and out of protection. So, and I hope everybody has a good holiday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kurt Niehaus, Director of Public Works. I've been up here, at least this is my third time talking about Croco Road between the I-70 and I-470 bridges. The latest that we have is the contractor's going to start this coming Monday, the 23rd. So I hope that is indeed the case, and we can get this project moving. Thank you.
Sure.
Good morning, Commissioners. Nelda Henning, Director of Facilities Management. I wanted to give you a brief update on the progress of the Administrative Services Building. We have received the electrical inspection as of yesterday, and we should be getting the framing inspection today. Based on that, if it passes, they will start drywalling tomorrow. As it stands right now, we are still ahead of schedule. With drywall starting tomorrow, we will be even more ahead of schedule. And so we should start planning on those boxes. I have spoken with a mover, and we will be contracting with them. Based on the mover's schedule, he anticipates the complete move should take approximately 2 days. We will plan a third day for any catch-up, but at this point, things are moving quite quickly. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
None.
Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Nelda.
Anyone else? Commissioner Mays, you have anything you'd like to add?
Nothing from me. Sorry I couldn't be there today, but appreciate you allowing me to call in.
I understand. Thank you. Commissioner Cook?
No, nothing for me. Just to repeat what Nelson said, be weather aware. There's a lot of changing weather conditions this time of the year.
I have nothing to add. Next item.
Number 7, executive sessions.
We do not have a need for executive session today, so we are adjourned. What do I hit here, the red button? Nope.
What do you have?
Nope.
We have a bunch of contracts, and we got